been hired to help suppress the rebellion of yet another tribal leader. Apparently, this is the only job for which I am suited. For 6 months' work, I am to receive 3 years of captain's pay, teaching Orientals to soldier.
Fire! What can the general tell me about this man, this samurai? Assume firing position! Assume firing position!
We watched Last Samurai. I'm Chad.
I'm Andrew.
And that's Andrew. We are fanboying the snobs, because Andrew's kind of a snob too, I guess.
He's joined our clan.
But yeah, we watched Last Samurai starring Tom Cruise, a 2003 samurai movie. Why'd we watch this movie on our Man Quest?
Isn't it obvious?
We'll tell them.
Hey, have you guys ever watched AMC at 4 o'clock in the afternoon? I guess you've seen The Last Samurai, so you completely understand why this is a Man Quest movie. See, the difference is, we watch the parts that what are they called? The censor people?
Censor people?
SPCA? No. Anyway, whatever they're called. We watched the parts they didn't cut out for TV, so we saw a lot of blood, a lot of swearing, a lot of people getting hit with metal things to the face. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But on a deeper level, let me throw this out there. I didn't get it at first, but after the whole rules of being a samurai, being, respectful, honor, a true warrior, those are things that define a man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you're joking, Andrew, but
he's not. He's trying to be a serious person.
And
I'm being a drunken fool.
Yes, I'm being a drunken fool. It's only because I watch this movie once a year, and you guys haven't seen this. He's never seen this.
I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
I've seen scenes of it. I've never seen it entirely. Like I can remember going over someone's house and it was on.
And right, everyone, like I said with the AMC joke I said at the beginning, like everyone's seen bits of this movie, but when you watch it from start to finish and you see Aldrin's actual character growth as contrasted to the Japanese ambassador, where he regresses and becomes a disgusting capitalist. It's really, like you said, Andrew, it really, because he is a warrior at the beginning of the movie, right? He's really good with his gun. He talks about winning many battles.
He's competent with a sword, you saw.
But he's not a warrior. He's just a killer, which is why he's...
I'd say he's still a warrior, but he's more of a hired...
Do you remember what he says in his journal? Apparently putting down rebellions is all I'm good at. He's
That's what I'm saying. He's like a hired gun.
A killer for hire.
Yeah.
But then when he gets... I don't want to get that far ahead. Let's talk... All right, how much explaining of this movie do we want to do?
We'll break down this story.
Right.
So Tom Cruise's character, what was his name? Nathan Wallace?
Nathan Aldridge.
Aldridge.
And who was his commanding officer?
I forget.
Custard.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't go with Custard to his last stand.
Yeah, because Custard was a overzealous little bastard.
Well, can I give a quick history lesson on Custard?
Sure.
Okay, so during Gettysburg, the South had about couple thousand reinforcements coming up the flank, and they straight up were going to break what is it, Pickett's charge, where they're going up the hill, and the North somehow manages to... No, it's the other way around. The South did Pickett's charge up a hill, and they failed. But if they had reinforcements, they would have won. They would have taken Pickett's Hill. They would have set up their artillery. South would have won Gettysburg. Now, the South was supposed to get reinforced by all these troops. However, a crazy cavalry sergeant and 80 guys charged the 2,000 some odd troops that were supposed to be coming to reinforce from the rear. So they broke from the rear and were running forward. So the guys at the front of the line see everyone running from behind them and start running. That was Custard. So he had it in his head, I can win any military engagement with a bullshit charge, which he tries that little bighorn, gets surrounded, and then massacred. So Aldridge dodged that battle. So Custard is like a hero and a fool, which is kind of where Aldridge is, except not dead. Sorry, I just wanted to give a little history lesson on Custer. He gets a lot of shit thrown at him, but he was a good guy. Commander.
Yeah, but Tom Cruise's character, I don't think he was that ignorant towards it, because he was even like, we shouldn't go to battle. He did that whole. Well, pretty much, Tom Cruise's character starts off. You find him drinking in a
like a sideshow at the World's Fair.
He's advertising Winchester guns, right?
Mhm.
Winchester.
7 rounds, no reloading. What was it? 20 rounds a minute or something crazy like that.
Imagine if they had those in that war.
The gun that won the West.
It scares the shit out of everybody shooting and stuff around him.
Yep. That's after he gets fired for being too drunk to go on stage.
Yeah.
Then he goes on stage anyway. And he starts talking about Custard, and he starts talking about the massacre, and everyone in the audience is visibly uncomfortable.
Thought war was cool, man.
Yeah, man. Well, that's this whole movie is, dude, I thought war was badass. So anyway, he gets fired.
He gets fired then. What was the dude's name?
The Irish guy.
Yeah, he finds him and he's like, I got a job for you.
Why does the Irish guy know Aldridge?
Because they fought together. He was his commander.
And he also bailed
On
before
Custer.
the Battle of Custer because he knew, he was like, I'm not going with you. This is suicide. So him and Aldridge are both smart enough to be like, fuck that shit. So he says, I got a job. We're going to train the Japanese. And Aldridge is like, fuck it, I'll go for the drinks.
Yeah.
And then what
Zeb.
happens?
That's sweet money.
Zeb Gant.
What was that?
Zeb Gant. That's his name.
Zebediah? Yeah, that makes sense.
And how much were they offering him? $500 a week?
Well, first it was he was getting paid $20 a week to do the show, which is a lot for 1875 money. Then they offered him 200, and he negotiates his way up to 500. And I quickly did the inflation math on Google, which means Google did it for me. And
it was like 12 grand.
It was $12,983 a week.
I like how he's like, and we'll get 500 more once we finish.
Yep. So basically, he's like, I want to be a millionaire by the time this is, or not a millionaire. I want to have $100,000 in the bank by the time this is done.
Yeah.
Because he was going to be there for like 5 years. Fucking 1,200 times 52 times 5.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I just like, they start him off as, would you call him sleazy at the beginning?
Broken.
Broken. He had the little flashbacks of PTSD and all that stuff.
No, PTSD wasn't real yet. Oh my God. He was just
also we didn't really get to see that kind of side of him until he stopped drinking.
Yeah.
You notice that? Like the drinking was keeping that suppressed.
They do, when he's on the boat going to Japan, he has a flashback real quick and then throws the fucking whiskey down and goes to bed. Yeah, it's not until he gets captured by the Japanese where he goes through the DTs and all the PTSD comes flowing back. Remember that scene where he just points the pistol at the fucking little girl and shoots her? Yeah. This movie's heavy.
I will say, in terms of the story, I was looking it up just to see if this was based on a true story at all or not. And time period, like the emperor is based off of the actual emperor of that time. But a lot of the characters are fictional characters.
Yeah.
I will say though, as a story, it's a great story, but I feel like it's a story that's been done before, but this does it really well.
Yeah, dude.
The whole being captured by the enemy and slowly being turned by the enemy and realizing they're not as bad as they think they are.
This is Ben-Hur, remember? He starts off as like a Roman elite.
Right.
Gets enslaved and then becomes a charioteer and fights his way all the way back for the people. Yeah, this is just kind of Ben-Hur. This is Spartacus. This is the story of Cincinnatus. This is a story as old as time is the Conqueror, Avatar, Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Ferngully, yeah. But what's great about this one is it's fucking, it kicks you in the dick.
Yeah.
This one makes you, this is a movie. There's 3 movies women don't understand, like 3 types of movies: boats, swords, and I forget what the third one is. Sacrifice. Like, women don't understand those kinds of movies. Like, I watched Master and Commander with my girlfriend, and she was like, "This is so fucking boring," and I was like, "You Stupid bitch, you don't get it. You know, I've watched Master and Commander with girls, or Last Samurai with chicks, and they've been like, why doesn't he just give up? And it's like, you don't get it. You don't fucking get it. You don't get it. You know?
Well, that's what I love. They show him just kind of going to chorus when he's training them. Then he starts.
Shoot me!
No, but that's what I'm saying. He starts actually learning the language and everything. He starts like connecting with them. Then what the ambassador guy?
The ambassador, the
He's
capitalist.
like, we're gonna go.
Fight Kazimoto.
All right, so Tom Cruise then goes out in front of the shooting range in the target and demands that the guy shoots at him. So as the guy's being like, I don't want to do this, Tom Cruise is pulling out his gun, shooting around him.
He shoots at his feet. He shoots next
Shoots
to him.
his hat off.
Yeah, he even shoots his hat off.
And you see the guy like struggling to put the ball in, and then the powder, and then the cotton, and he drops his fucking hammer, and he's, you know, and the whole time Tom Cruise is shooting and yelling at him, just proving that this guy can't fucking function under pressure, which is the most important thing in a war. Is you gotta fucking focus, because the second you start panicking, y'all die.
And as soon as the guy gets a shot off,
he misses
like
completely.
10 feet to the
and
right.
Tom Cruise looks so pissed off it didn't hit him.
Yeah.
Because at this point, we figured out Tom Cruise is so upset about the mistreatment of natives and the brutalities he commit in the names of peace that he just wants to die, but he's too much of a coward to do it himself, so he's going to drink himself to death. And the only reason he signed up to go to Japan was maybe I'll get fucking killed.
Get enough money to booze myself to death.
Yeah. That's actually a line. I'll have enough money to drink myself to death. Yeah.
The coolest part about this, too, is right before that whole scene, he was like pretty much showing this guy how to shoot, lining him up, and he almost hit the target perfectly.
He was a left of center on the bullseye.
Ugh.
He showed him how to do it calm, and he gave him encouragement, and then he started screaming at him, and the guy couldn't function, which is the entirety of my childhood. But,
guess what happened when they went to battle?
Oh yeah, eventually they catch up with Kazimoto. I think it's a couple months later, and it's like a misty forest bamboo battle. And you hear just the horses coming, and fucking Tom Cruise is shouting orders.
It looks so fucking cool coming out of the fog and everything.
The
with
ambassador,
the helmets and stuff.
the ambassador who's sitting next to Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise has his pistol drawn. He's screaming orders. The Irish guy gets off his horse and is like, and Tom Cruise is like, "Go fucking fight in the back." And he's like, "Fuck you, I'm here to die." And it's like, you're so cool. And then the ambassador's like, "I'm gonna go hide," basically, and he rides away. And Tom Cruise is like, "What a fuck pussy."
Yeah.
And the samurai comes fucking charging at him, and the Japanese, wait, and then they all just start shooting like Helm's Deep. They all just start shooting stupidly, and then they all start retreating, and Tom Cruise is just.
Now, what do you think would have happened if they actually, like, if this was a real
gun
situation,
line?
if waited till their guns would actually be able to hit the people?
A gun line defeats, there's a reason we stopped using swords.
I hate guns.
It's the great equalizer. Anyone can use a gun. It puts us all on equal footing. If me and you had the exact same gun,
There's no honor in it.
it's the most honorable thing in the world.
A sword is.
No, it isn't. You're bigger than me. How's that honorable?
Because I could be slower than you, and you can get the
Yeah,
up on me.
because speed beats strength every time, right?
It does if you're good enough.
Only,
You're just a bitch.
only in anime, you fucking weeb.
No.
Remember that? Remember the Viper versus the Mountain? Outspeed versus strength.
First of all, he did win, but he got cocky.
he did win, but he died.
No, he won,
But he
got
lost.
cocky, and he couldn't get the killing blow.
Yeah, but who died first?
Mountain.
The Mountain died after crushing his skull. Yeah.
No, the Viper would have won if he was.
Anyway, back to Last Samurai. What I'm saying is, fuck speed versus strength. Strength every single time.
Yeah, I have to agree with Chris. The guns would have totally annihilated him.
Yeah, dude, straight up.
No,
Dude,
I'm not saying they wouldn't.
Because if the front line dropped to their knee like they're supposed to, and the overline and they went, and then like left to right and then right to left, like that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it's just it doesn't matter if the bullet's going like this. It's fucking 60 of them going every direction, and all you have is a sword, like. Ding, and then the rest hit you.
I still don't think there's any honor in guns.
Well, see, and
Unless
then
it's fucking
hold on.
equilibrium.
After the first shot, you don't have time to reload. Now you have a spear, and you run up and you start fighting melee.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, why would I stab you when I can just shoot you from a distance, then stab you? Well, arrows are a coward's weapon then. You're stabbing.
Crossbow. Crossbow is a coward's weapon.
Crossbow. A bow and arrow is a lot harder to use than a gun. Well, maybe not back in the day.
No, back in
Not
the day.
back in the day.
No. When guns-
I think I'd rather go out with a bow
Then
and speak.
when all you've ever done is used a bow, yeah,
Yeah.
I would take a bow over a gun. Nowadays, I'm like, give me a gun over a fuck. I've shot archery. Fucking, I'm way better with guns.
AK, just be like,
Did I ever tell you I shot an AK?
I've shot them before.
So yeah, but whatever. But I've shot an AK.
Oh yeah,
Andrew got to shoot it on full auto.
really?
He said it hurt his shoulder really bad.
I would imagine. Just
He went like that.
no way.
Yeah. Back when we used to hang out with the Charleston SWAT team.
Let's talk about Tom Cruise's battle to gain the respect of the samurais.
So basically, the battle in the mist, believe it or not, doesn't go well for the loyalists. We'll call the samurais the rebels, the imperialists the loyalists.
Yeah.
So the loyalists lose the battle super hard. Tom Cruise goes down like a fucking pro. He's surrounded by like 10 dudes all trying to kill him, and he's taking them out one by one till finally, like, he's been stabbed, he's been punched, he's been fucking stabbed, he's been kicked in the ball. Like, he's down on one knee, some dude comes up to finish him, and Tom Cruise is like, fuck you, buddy, and kills him. And that's when Quasimodo's like, spare that dude, he's cool as shit.
Well, he spared him after the other guy went and he. What was his name? The guy who played Scorpion.
Hanzo?
Hanzo. He came up and started doing shit, and Tom Cruise was fighting against him. And as he was going for the final blow, the guy was like, "No, wait, he's cool. We're gonna keep him."
Thanks for reiterating what I just said.
Yeah, but you said that after the other guy. I was emphasizing on Hanzo.
Horn Boy?
Yeah, homeboy.
We'll talk about Horn Boy later.
He's too cool.
So cool.
So cool.
So Tom Cruise. Oh, we didn't talk about Irishman dying.
Yeah, he died like a G.
He's standing there just going, and then finally he runs out of ammo, and the last guy hits him with a spear, and then he's laying on the ground like. Then the samurai comes up and does the honorable, end his suffering kind of stab.
That's the guy Tom Cruise ends up killing.
But we don't know that because we're Americans, so we just see a samurai killing a guy on the ground. It's like when he sees the beheading scene and he doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
So Tom Cruise gets super pissed that his best friend was just executed, and then the commander got beheaded. And he was like, "You fucking Japs are fucking crazy." It's like, no, dude. The best death is an honorable death. You fight like a warrior. I want to put you out of your suffering. It's better than,
What do you think of that scene, Andrew?
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I will say also Tom Cruise's like staying alive and taking guys out left and right was pretty badass too. The fact that he's able to like hang in there even though he's completely surrounded.
Well, the best part of that scene is it shows he's capable with a sword. He just doesn't know the fundamentals pretty much of. So he has talent, and the guy's like, "Ooh, I like him."
I think my favorite one is when he gets stabbed like in the back of the hip, and he grabs the spear, pulls it out, and then pulls it towards him to get the guy, And then he just drops to one knee, and then the rest of the fight, he's down to one knee, just swinging the spear wildly.
I love when he's on the ground like this, holding the swords.
That's
on his
later.
knees.
That's later, though. That's it. Oh yeah, that 3v1 fight where he just ends it.
That's so cool.
So he's in the village, and Quasimodo basically is just like keeping him as a pet.
Because he likes to speak English. He wants to learn English more, and he has an English speaker. So he's.
I think he also wants to know their battle tactics and stuff.
Yeah,
he wants to learn about
understand
him.
his enemy.
Because he kept asking, "How did you defeat the Red Men?"
He wants to know about and remember the last time we saw Tom Cruise talk about the Redmen, he talked to that guy who turns into a rat and hides in Harry's balls. He told him about scalping, and boy, did he give a very disgusting and apt description.
Like we were talking about when we were watching it, but scalping, like I guarantee you, like the slice isn't the most painful. It's them pulling it as they're trying to cut
Now,
it.
see, I disagree. I think the most painful part is the blade nicking the top of your skull as they go along.
No, I feel like your skin ripping.
Ugh.
The skin ripping.
Hey, check it out. I bet it sucks.
It's not pleasant.
I bet it
Andrew,
sucks.
what's the worst part for you?
I feel like
I've had
I
so
feel
many.
like the skin being pulled back.
Yeah.
That's
All
what I'm-
right,
that I'm
all right.
saying.
You guys are with the skin pulling. I'm with the bone nicking. Because, like, I've had my skin pulled off. I had a circumcision. I get it.
Yeah, because you remember that.
I do. There was a rabbi, and they were singing Have Nagila. It was fucking crazy.
And he held me up like this.
Basically, Tom Cruise is staying in this village, and he's like, "Why the fuck am I here?" And he's like, "I brought you here to talk with you. You can leave anytime you want, but winter's coming, so I guess you're stuck here for the."
I do like how they never made him a prisoner.
No, he was free to roam the village. Bob just had to follow him.
Yeah.
Which I like the way Tom Cruise realizes Bob isn't there to keep him from fucking things up. Bob's there to keep things from fucking him up.
Yeah.
Bob's there to protect him from the other samurai. Oh, there's the fucking rain scene where he's fighting. He hears two kids sword fighting, and he runs out and he wants to play with them, so he swords fights one of the kids and he wins. And then our boy Hanzo shows up, and he's like, he's the best swordsman.
That first fucking strike where he like deflects his sword and just hits him with the blunt end of it.
He just straight up hits him with the fucking pommel straight to the fucking, you know, like all the air. And Tom Cruise drops to one knee, gets back up, swings at him. So Hanzo cracks him upside the head, knocks him to the ground.
I love that hit. It's like...
Then Tom Cruise gets back up, and they do this like 3 or 4 more times. So finally, Hanzo's like, I don't want to kill you. Like, stop. Just stay down. You won my respect.
Yeah, Tom Cruise's character in this movie is
his growth is genuine and real.
Yeah, it goes from like a guy that's just like pity party to going into a totally new culture shock, like of what's going on, understanding that there's more to life than just fucking what he's been doing.
What it was is he was finally able to step outside of his own life and just like immerse himself in something completely new.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like the scenes of him just observing the blacksmith, or the scenes of him observing the judo master.
Well, that's the coolest thing we found out at the beginning of the movie. He was very like intelligent, being able to like pick up on things pretty quickly. Which they would. What language did he learn?
Blackfoot.
Yeah.
The Native American. Yeah.
So you had like the rat face guy being like, "Oh, let's talk about this," blah blah blah, and he's like,
and the best part is he's like filing paperwork, and the light is right here, and he's like, "Tell me about scalping," and he just looks up, and all you can see is like the shadow and the hate, and then by the end of the movie, there's no hate in his eyes anymore. There's just honor and respect.
Well, he honestly went from being somebody that just totally conquers to knowing what it's like to actually fight for something.
He went from being someone who wanted to die to someone who wanted to live.
No, what I'm saying is like he found something to fight for.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. He was
the honor and everything. There was no honor in what he was doing before because he was going after the children,
women and children, and now he's finally like he said, he spent his life suppressing rebellions.
And the best part, you'll say, he left the Custard fight because he knew he'd die. Went full force into this one,
The Kazimoto fight, knowing he was gonna die.
Because he was talking to what was his name? The other cool guy.
Which one?
The main guy.
Kazimoto?
Kazimoto. He was going to Kazimoto. How'd that battle end?
Oh,
Fought until
Thermopylae.
they died.
Yeah, because Kazimoto was fascinated by the General Custard story.
Yeah.
So he was like, dude, no, check this out. Battle of Thermopylae, King Leonidas, 300 Spartans versus 1 million Persians. And then Kazimoto's like, I like that story way more, bro. What happened at the end? They all died. And he's like,
I like how right when he said that, he's like, fuck yeah, let's go do this.
Yeah, let's fucking do this. And at first, remember when they bring up the General Custer story and he's talking about how like dying is like good, and Tom Cruise and even the audience, you as an audience member, you're like, what the fuck do you mean dying like that is honorable? Because we know the Custer story. But then he's like, yo, that Thermopylae shit, and we all know the Thermopylae story, so we're like, yeah, fuck yeah, that Thermopylae shit.
I do wish they kind of killed Tom Cruise at the end. I don't like how he lived.
I like
how they gave him the sword.
But hold on, that's the alternate ending, where the Emperor says, fuck you, Americans, Japan for the Japanese.
Really?
In real life, he goes, fuck you, Japan, America for the Japanese.
See, I honestly thought it was going to end where he was down on the ground once he dies. His friend, fucking horrible names.
Kazimoto.
Alright. I thought, honestly, once
Quasimodo?
Kazimoto died, he was going to just pick up a sword,
No.
put it in the ground, try to stand up, and go run at them.
Nah,
But then
because
they
they
had the
already
kneeling
did
scene.
they already
They had the
did
kneeling
yeah, the kneeling scene was way more important than that.
Yeah.
Because him stabbing Kazimoto and then the American Japanese guy or the Japanese American being like, fucking shoot them, and then like the guy below him being like, fuck you, dude, and like bowing. That was sick as shit.
Yeah.
He could have done the samurai death too after Quasimodo.
I thought, and now I've seen this movie 100 million times, but seeing it with you guys and seeing it with like through the lens of fresh eyes, I thought the mustache guy was gonna shoot the ambassador. Just like dumb movie thing.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be Japanese, that wouldn't be honorable.
I love how he died. The other general guy died.
Who's
the guy with the mustache?
The gray mustache? No, he didn't fight.
The douchebag that Tom Cruise is like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Oh, the Lance Corporal?
Yeah.
Where he gets the sword thrown through him? Okay, so well, let's talk about Tom Cruise's relationship with Taka.
With the girl?
Yes. Obviously. Who else would it be, you fuck? So, who is Taka?
Taka is the wife of the guy he killed.
The one who said, I got this, and then got the spear through his fucking throat. He wears the cool red dragon armor, and she is Quasimodo's
sister.
I think it's their thing, but I do think it's kind of fucked that he made Tom Cruise sleep there and like her take care of him. But it's all an honor thing.
You have to understand, she's a lady in this society. She doesn't get a say. Quasimodo is the lord of the village. He wants to take care of Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but he even said it's karma. He went for the kill on Tom Cruise.
That's his justification for saying, stay at your house, not mine.
Well, that's the honor thing going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's crazy. And
karma.
then the kids end up being like, new dad.
That one kid.
I
loved how that joke, when you guys first saw him, you're like, hey, new dad. And then by the end of the movie, he's calling him new dad. And I was just grinning ear to ear every time you made that joke.
No, it is.
Dude, that kid was a badass.
Yeah,
remember the kabuki scene?
Yeah, he fucking took on like one of the
fucking assassin. Straight up just drew his dad's sword and tried to fight a fucking assassin.
That was so cool.
A ninja.
Yeah, ninja, assassin, Hashishin.
Because there's a very big difference between, as I've learned from many films that depict this, there's a very big difference between a ninja and samurai.
There is. I was telling you guys, growing up as a kid, you think ninjas are so cool. But then you realize they're just little bitches. Samurais are the cool ones.
As a child, you think ninjas are cool. But as a man, you realize samurai is the way.
Batman is a samurai.
Oh, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
He's more samurai than he is ninja.
Oh, definitely.
Well, no, he even says that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He was trained by a samurai.
Well, he was trained by the Legion of Shadows. Shadows is ninja. But him
No, he was trained. No, he went to Japan and he learned from a samurai.
Yeah, but so did Wolverine, and so did Cyclops, and so did Captain
All right,
America. You know what I mean? Like,
first of all, Wolverine is a samurai.
Wolverine is a Confederate soldier, first of all.
Wolverine's everything. He's old
Wolverine is a joke.
He was in the Howling.
What did you just fucking say?
You. Fuck Wolverine.
Fuck
Wolverine.
you.
No, seriously, Wolverine has turned into a joke. The fact that he came back from a drop of blood, like, get the fuck out of here.
That's like Deadpool. That's not Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine's not supposed to have that much of a healing
factor. That's Deadpool and Hulk.
No, but there was a story where Wolverine came back from a drop of blood.
Is that the one where he gets encased in adamantium? Remember when they killed him by encasing him in adamantium, and then they decided, well, shit, we need Wolverine back.
Coolest thing about Wolverine is I love how he just becomes weaker and starts dying because of the adamantium.
Yeah, but only in that one story. Old Man Logan ain't canon. See, during the Hickman run, they destroyed that universe. It doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, cool, right? Fucking cool, right? Fucking cool, right?
Now I don't like how they killed Daredevil and Punisher like that. But overall, what makes you like this movie, and what did you dislike from the movie?
I think I really enjoyed the whole learning of, the culture, learning what it means to be a samurai, what it means to be a man, in a different sense than what we're used to. But at the end of the day, it has the same goals, honor, respect, that type of thing, but they go about it in a different way. So the whole, learning that and becoming one himself I think was a good story. I mean, like I said before, it's a story as old as time, but it's, you know, the way they went about it was pretty well. The only thing I will say is I feel like there might have been a couple scenes that might have been dragged on a bit too long. Not in a bad way, but like, you know, there's just
I thought
some of the like the training scenes, like of him like falling, and I get it. You know, you want to build up that whole thing of him becoming stronger and, you know, learning, but I felt like some of it might have been just a bit too long. It could have trimmed out a little bit. Overall, I think it was very good.
So that's why I feel like our patience for stuff on screen comes to different. Because I love that shit where it was just showing his like quest to become who he was and everything.
No, I'm all for it if it's.
It's also
I just
why
felt
I
like some of the
like-
scenes might have been a tad bit repetitive.
Yeah, I just whenever I watch movies like this, it just makes me want to fucking like work out, not be such a bitch, and do things.
Well, we all know that's impossible.
But I think this movie definitely personifies what a man quest movie should be. What do you think? A man finding himself, finding what he wants and who he should be and what really matters in life instead of just what he was used to and striving for it and not giving up until the end.
And even then, he didn't really give up. He met his goal.
That last scene, he was ready to fucking whoop ass if those guys did anything.
I think it was cool that they used swords.